Good morning, Get Well Soon family.
And happy Sunday.
This is your host, Tyler Kidd.
And your co-host, Angelina Messa.
And we are back with season 3. We have Heart to Heart. Literally screaming. We are back better than ever. We have upped our equipment. We have upped our settings. We have upped ourselves. Angelina is slaying in nursing school. I am
slaying in
life.
Yeah,
we're trying the best, but we're here to bring you guys season 3, so we hope you guys are ready because we are so fucking ready, and our lineup is...
It's crazy.
Chef's kiss. So let's get into it. How you feeling?
I'm like so excited, but nervous. Yeah, the lights are definitely
it's hot.
That's why I wore biker shorts. Also, it's 80 degrees outside.
Yeah. Oh, it is supposed to be hot today. High 76. You know what? I'm not going to complain.
No,
because
do not complain. I'm so over the cold.
Me too. And like, I like the rain, but not, it has to come less than the sun.
It rained for like 3 weeks straight.
And that's why people get depressed.
Yep. And
including myself.
Yeah.
Something I didn't consider about living in a row home is that you only get light from the front and the back.
Yeah.
So when it's like gloomy outside, it's literally like dungeon mode.
Yeah.
I had to like leave. I had to like force myself out of my house because I was like, you can't, you're going to be miserable in here. But yeah, we're back. This is, people probably like, what the fuck is going on? I slightly feel like this isn't even, but like just consider episode 1 a test run, you guys.
Yeah.
But we have a new camera. Our setup's not new. This is actually, we went back to our roots.
Season 1.
Mm-hmm. Angelina's been dying for this. She has actually brought up bringing it back to this a couple of times.
Yes, I have.
I've always shut her down. I've always been like, no, it's okay. Let's do the couch. No, I don't know why.
Yeah.
We ever switched. So we're back to our roots. We have fun stuff going. This season's going to be a little bit different than last season. And speaking about last season, I guess we kind of should just touch upon.
We ghosted you guys for a valid.
We had shit hit the fan.
Yeah,
shit hit the fan. I think for me personally, and I'll let you kind of like touch base for yours. And I talk about this all the time. The last 6 months have been the most like death and rebirth, like tower moment of my life where I lost, I wouldn't even say lost, but I had to remove friendships, relationships. Mm-hmm. I switched environments. I moved out of my mother's house into a sublet that didn't work out but worked, like all the above, like worked out for the better.
Yeah.
Because then like the friendships that I had to cut out that, I wouldn't have usually made so much space for friendships that I'm now like, oh my God, this is what
friendships
are supposed to be like.
Yeah.
And like so genuine. Shout out Casey Gates. She really taught me that when she came and brought me Taco Bell when I lived next to Taco Bell. Like that shit was crazy. I was like, what do you do? She's like, I knew you weren't going to eat. And like just little things. And I'm like, and then I used to have friends that would do, this, and it's always all love. And then the apartment didn't work out, but now I'm in the home of my dreams and just, relationships and then self and then career-wise. So it was really hard a podcast is a lot.
Yeah.
But stay on track. Guys, you know when I'm in a good mood and my thoughts that's where we're at. For those of you that are listening in on Spotify, Apple, all of those, I'm like a squirrel right now. But it was hard to like just balance a podcast while handling like real life shit, because as much as I talk really positive about life, like those life changes, I hit the worst place I've ever been in since I think I started my entire journey, because it was the final, it was like final boss, in those video games. Yeah. And it was literally me against my own life. And no, I hope I keep like changing and transforming. I don't ever hope to hit that hard again. So maybe if I like stay on my P's and my Q's and I just like stay focused, I'll always have to change things, but never like it was a massacre. My life literally, it just wasn't good. And then at the same time,
you also just, not that you weren't happy, you're glowing a different way now.
Oh, I was going through it. I was not, I agree. I wouldn't say I wasn't not happy, because I was happy because there were such good things happening all the time, but I definitely was not vibing. I definitely wasn't having a good time. And then, you weren't having a good time.
Yeah. Oh God.
You just had a personal loss that happened that hit home a lot. Okay, she's already gonna start crying and I'm already gonna start crying. I mean, I don't want to speak for Okay, didn't this happen in episode 1 of season 1 when you talked about Savannah?
Yeah.
And I started laughing. I'm not going to laugh this time, though.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
I don't know if you want me to talk for you or if you want to, like, I don't.
I'm going to try. Hold on.
Okay.
I need a sip of water.
It's nothing about this is funny, but you guys know me. I never know what to do when people are crying because I'm just like, I just open my ears
and listen.
And I listen and I give hugs when I feel it's permanent, but I'm also not a huggy person.
Hug me.
Yeah. So, I kind of just, I sit and I giggle and I wait, but it's not. If you're listening to season 3, if you've been here since season 1, you've seen me laugh at the worst.
Worst timing.
Worst timing.
Yeah, we lost a really close friend.
You don't have to. Okay.
Yeah.
And as you, I mean, if anybody you're listening or you're watching, obviously, so we both were going through such. Me was like a me thing, and then it was grief, which grief is hands down one of the hardest things to navigate. And you're a mother. You are figuring out. You're being a mom, being your relationship. You are in an accelerated nursing school.
Yeah.
You were focused after, you had failed the last semester. And so you're focused with that. And then you get hit with something like that. It just.
Yeah.
So we ghosted you guys.
We did.
But we ghosted you guys for good reason.
Yeah. And we just, like, our friends were just, like, so, like, worried about ourselves. And, like, we were worried about, like, backing his family and, like, being there for his mom, his sister, his dad. So I think, like, everything else in life didn't matter.
No, it has to take a backseat, and unfortunately, and it's almost like I read this quote one time, and I can't remember what the whole quote was, but it's about like preserving. Like we were trying to preserve the podcast because we didn't want to run shitty episodes where we're faking it or where we're just not into it. Like I personally was just not into the podcast because I knew that like
there was no way that
we were going to be able,
no,
but
it
why
would have been so fake, and also there was just like no time for either of us. Like all of our friends and I were together for probably like a month straight. Like that was
and like I said, it's a lot, and it's a lot to. We talked about it before in an episode.
Yeah,
it's a lot to get onto and get into a space because we obviously get really deep and personal, and over every week, over again. It almost was like I don't even know how to explain this how I'm feeling to myself. Yeah. Let alone how do I explain this to almost 1 million people? Yeah. Shout out season 1 and 2. We almost hit 1 million people on an audience reach.
Yeah.
How do you like what? Hello? Like I actually don't know what the fuck is going on. So how do I then tell them what is going on? Let's figure out.
Help others during a time when you're like so down.
And because I've learned that I think that it's easier for me to get through something, figure it out, heal, and now I can teach everybody about it. And it is important to like still do that while you're going through things. But we did it out of love, and we didn't want to like screw you guys over, even though it might have felt like it. I know I had some people be like, hey, and I'm like, we're trying. I literally like had to move out in a month, had to fire first realtor, like on 2 different levels of things. Like I feel like very much emotional, but it was just life changed, and it came out of nowhere. Like I feel like we started doing the End Zone Essentials. We were coming out of the summer season. Everybody loved the beer shirts. We were like vibing, and then it was like boom, 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 and we were like, okay, enough. We've taken enough fucking shots to the face. Like let's go into our bubbles, and we will come back for season 3. And now we're here.
Yeah.
And we're excited for you guys to see everything. We're going to be doing some fun interviews. Oh, also, at this point of the episode, our trailer video would have came out. What do you guys think about that? That was out of my comfort zone. I don't know if it was out of your comfort zone. The lipstick, like when I like, that was real. That was so genuine because she had been eating it.
Okay, so Summer Fridays and Laneige.
Yeah, I think that's
If you guys want to sponsor my daughter, I really think she'll be the best person
honestly
to do that for.
Yes.
My Summer Fridays and my Laneige are not mine anymore.
No, she's a girl's girl. And so when she went to stick it up, I had seen her eat it a minute or so prior, and I was like, Because kids are so cute, but they're so gross. Like, and Savannah's like the cleanest baby too.
She'll clean up after herself. She'll be like messy and get a napkin, clean up after herself. But
that was a moment. That was a moment, especially because it ended up.
First of all, I had to wake her up early. And if you guys know my daughter.
And then the mic. She wanted the mic. She wanted the mics on her. At one point, and one clip, she has the mic on her, which I was cracking up about. Yeah, I was like, "Oh, there it is." But no, that was actually really fun. I feel like it turned out super good.
It did,
and I just think that we're just off to a great start.
We are.
So let's jump into the episode.
Oh goodness!
This is feeling so. Like we said, it's going to be a lot different, and this really does feel like a test run.
Yeah.
So I'm nervous only because you know me. I'm a perfectionist. I mean, I can't deny it anymore. And so I'm like, last night I was going to be like, all right, let me like sit down and like study what I'm going to do. But then I was like, I just want to do it naturally and just see how that goes.
Best way to do it.
Oh my God, but my tummy is tummying.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm getting asked questions. I don't even.
I know. I have fun and I have let me not spoil it. I'm like really bad with exciting work secrets. So, but as always, this podcast,
Here we go.
I can't even get the sponsorship out of the podcast. This podcast is sponsored by New Jersey Holistic Healing and Wellness. At New Jersey Holistic Healing and Wellness, they believe that balance is key. That's why they consider the entire person as well as the internal and external factors that affect them. As you guys know, I have been coming to New Jersey Holistic Healing and Wellness. We have to be pushing 2 years now. I started going weekly, then it was bi-weekly. Now I go a month. And it's having somebody hold your hand, but the most genuine, sincere, unbiased hand holding. And it's not in a way that it's like, oh, you're depressed. Okay, here's this medication for you to know. It's going to be like, well, why are you depressed? Okay, well then why do you feel like that? And where does that stem from? To the point that they break it down all the way to, okay, this is the real root problem. Now let's fix that so that when you go through these issues or these mindsets or, you know, stuff like that, you're not going back into that depression. You have the resources, self, and obviously from an outside counseling perspective, that you can get through that without having to, you know, numb anything. And that's nothing against medication. Sometimes people really need it, but they often are used as a Band-Aid solution versus at New Jersey Holistic Healing and Wellness, they want to give you permanent solutions, or at least the resources that can help you achieve a permanent resolution to the things that you go through mentally. Yeah. Shout out Matt. We love you, Matt. We've been running 3 seasons here now. And I couldn't recommend coming here enough. Angelina's come here a few times.
Yes.
Yeah. So, did you like
it? If you can't tell, I definitely need to go.
You know what I was about to say, but I already know you're not going to do it. Is the ring light in the tea?
It's recording.
No. Is the ring light in the tea? But yeah, we were saying, sorry, before I like had a OCD moment on camera, that you did come to New Jersey Holistic and you liked it. And from the looks of it and the sounds of it, you probably, I was going to say to you, you should go to their grief counseling groups. And then I pictured you in a grief counseling group and I was like, no, I think you would make it worse for everybody.
Yeah, what?
But maybe, as always.
Talking about my problems in a group setting.
They would be like, she needs psychiatric help. Well, because I just feel like you have so much bottled up that like you probably would have like a mental breakdown on like the first one, and people would be like, what, like you're slamming things, ripping things off the wall. Like I can literally just like somebody saying something that literally triggered like it out of you, like where you're like, whatever. Don't do that if you come here though. We don't recommend that. As always, there's going to be a QR code somewhere on the screen for us, and you can always find information about our podcast sponsor in our link in bios, on our profiles, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. We are YouTube short partners. We didn't toot our horn a lot last season and the season before because we were like, getting in the groove. I now think we should toot our horns because we did a phenomenal first year.
Yes, we did.
Oh, is that your snotty tissue?
It's tears.
I think that might have been snot just put on my hand. So now this is the real. For those of you that are listening in, you're about to listen into a one-on-one interview. Angelina is gonna. You're gonna listen and you're gonna find out. I'm not gonna spoil it for you because then you're not gonna listen to the whole episode. You're not gonna get me. So in your wait, this is so weird.
Yeah, what?
Okay, I'm excited. Woosah, let me take a sip of my drink.
I'll take one too.
Before we do the interviews, we send out guest forums just to get to know our guest, their interests, dislikes, make sure everybody's comfortable because we do talk about such topics on the podcast show. And one of the things that you're asked is to describe yourself in 3 words. Do you remember what you put?
No.
I want you to guess.
Are you kidding?
What
Savannah was probably on my lap. I don't have no idea.
Can you guess what you put? I want to see if you'll
outgoing, compassionate.
Nobody goes hand in hand for the 2 are kind of the same, but they're different words to describe it. It's selfless and giving.
Okay.
So, and I, as someone who's been your friend and works with you, I think that's top 3. And compassionate is very much, but you are very outgoing. And Miss Ma'am, I can just give her the credit. Her spark has as you can, she was talking about me glowing. Literally, look at her. She's laughing, you guys. She's laughing on a pot after crying too. Round of applause. Don't start crying again because we got to get through this card. Just kidding. Cry if you need to. But let's say a year ago or 3 years ago, would you have used those same words to describe yourself?
No.
What 3 words would you use to describe yourself?
I wasn't really an alcoholic then. I just partied a lot on the weekends. I wasn't.
This wasn't the Tito's handles.
No,
you're
no,
just
no.
living.
I just was living life as a 22-year-old. I thought I was happy. I don't know. I definitely
now that you've. It's almost you felt
and
you felt. Do you feel like you know happiness now?
Yes.
And so now you can look back and be like, and it could have been happiness to that version of you, but was it complete and genuine, healthy type of happiness? No.
I think I was trying to, I don't know where to put it, but I was trying to make everyone love me, and I cared a lot what a lot of people thought. Mm-hmm. I was at that stage of life.
Which is
yeah,
so annoying when you're because you're not focused on yourself at all and you're not worried about yourself at all. And so you kind of can lose your sense of self trying to find it in what other people want. And then you end up somebody that you're not or perceived as somebody that you're not.
Yeah. But 2022 and they were good years, 2021, 2022. They were good, but I wasn't my happy.
You weren't aligned with who, or, one of the things, and we have it on here, and you said in the question form was that you're finding yourself, but you're not sure if you found, who you truly are. And I think that that's a really big process that people, and you're always going to find new parts about yourself, but there does get a point where you center enough. I would say that I've centered enough that it's now additional things versus even I said the past 6 months, if even March, February, I was not. Yeah. I was not. January and February were the worst months. Yeah. And I just would like to say, I've never been seasonal depression. No. Yeah. So in terms of I found myself and it was good, but it's not really myself, and I didn't feel.
When I say this, and I say this a lot, when I had my daughter, she saved me. I mean, that's until she came into my life, I realized my purpose in life.
Would you say that? So that was in terms of your self journey and finding yourself, that was the biggest thing was because having a daughter?
Sometimes I was back and forth. I was oh, I don't want to be a mom. But growing up, I always wanted to be a mom. I nannied same family for 5 years. I nannied another family, but I kind of was getting to the point where I wasn't selfless. I was selfish. I was no, and not saying it's wrong if you don't want to have kids, but I feel that's my purpose. I'm meant to be a mom. And when I told people I was pregnant, they were you are meant to be here. You will be an amazing mom. And I'll never forget when my old boss,
the one that, so this is one of your nanny bosses? Yes. Okay.
She was one of the first 3 people I told because I was terrified to tell my mom. And I actually, I don't know if you guys know this, but there was a part of me that was thinking about getting abortion.
I was actually just about to ask you that. Was there ever like a thought of like,
yes,
maybe I shouldn't do this right now?
but it was because of other things I was hearing. Wasn't like
you knew that wasn't.
I knew if I did that, I would have went down south.
That actually makes me feel like you talk about you were in a phase of like people pleasing and stuff like that. And you talk about how your daughter
to please another person for.
But I feel like that to me is your first step that you took in stopping people pleasing. So it like kind of ties in with the fact of you saying like your daughter saved you even before she was anything, like when she was just like a little clump of something like in your uterus.
She was an egg.
And little egg, the fact that in response to just the beginning of her, whatever the science behind that fucking shit is, I don't know. Women are insane. Can we comprehend that?
Yeah.
Like literally.
Our bodies are crazy.
It grows a human being and pops it out. And I just, sometimes when I think about having 6 kids, I think about that. And a lot of people I know right now are having their kids. So I'm just like, how the hell, whatever. Besides the point. She was a reason that you stopped people pleasing. Yeah. And I feel like that kind of, like I said, ties it into the whole. My daughter saved my life, like she did from the very beginning.
And my old boss, she said, she was like, Angelina, you are meant to be a mom. Like you handle 5 of my children right now. Like this is you can do it. Yeah. You could do it by yourself. Like I know you could. And
I think too, there's a lot of people that bring kids into the world and fuck them up. Yeah. And hurt them and do like a lot of awful things. So I think the people that are like the nurturing is built into you. I have as many kids as you can. To me, like that's when I think, because like remember when I used to nanny for like, oh my God, like 20 something kids. People, every time I say that, people they'd be like, huh? And I'd be like, well, yeah, like 11 were her own, and then she would have anywhere from like 10 kids, like whatever, and they were 6 months to 2 years and potty training, whatever. I loved it, and sometimes it was literally just me with all of them, and it was fine, and I handled it. And that's like I've always talked about, like prior to that, like I want a lot of kids, but that's where like the 6 kids, and my cousin Stacy has, I believe she actually does have 6 now, 5. She has Vinny, Veda, Isla, Milana, Ian. Oh my God, I hope I'm not forgetting one. She's 5. And just the way that she is and like how involved she is, and like she puts sparkles like in her kids' lives. I think those kind of kids, to the best of the parents' ability, grow up to be such important people, like adults and stuff like that. And so and I know you can relate to this, if I can have 6 kids and I can raise them beautifully to the best of my abilities, because at the end of the day, people are going to be their individual selves. Yeah. But, you know, especially in a career where I'm always motivational speaking and I'm all about self-help and wellness, and, you know, I can raise 6 strong, like helpful, giving
individuals,
like genuine souls that are then going to do their own impact on the world. And I think that is what is really important about being a mom, because like obviously shout out the dads, thanks for the sperm, like you guys play a really good role too, but like on a motherly, like you bring it into the world, like you bring those children.
A motherly love is something I cannot explain, and this goes back to like losing one of my close friends in November. The pain I felt as a mom for his mom, like I still do. Like,
oh well, child loss. No.
Like, the pain I feel for her. I mean, I text her once a week, however many times I can text her, just to hopefully like put a smile on her face, because that's the least she deserves. Because I can't imagine how hard that is. And I feel like now being a mother, I could have never understood that if this happened 3 years ago. Yeah. Like, and I don't know, being a mom changes you in so many ways. Like you feel for other people, you feel for other kids even more than I ever have before. You feel for other parents that are like struggling to keep paying their bills, or maybe that's just the kind of person I am. Like, I just feel for all
I'm sure there's people listening in who are, like, parents, especially moms, that are, like, you know, literally, like, it.
I feel for the moms that have to do it by themselves and don't have help. Like, I don't know, being a mom just really changed me and like changed my perspective a lot of things. I also appreciated my mom and my dad a lot more because they were younger than I was when they had me, and I cannot imagine being younger.
Me, so fun fact, my mom had me at 21. She went through her 21st pregnant with me. I think she found out she was pregnant at 20, and like always growing up, obviously wanting 6 kids. And I had this thought the other night. I don't know where I'm fitting in 6 kids, but it's fine. I'll figure it out. I'm just gonna have to like wham them back to back.
Best way to do it.
I literally was like, growing up, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'll start at 21.
21.
I need you guys to know, if I had a child.
I mean, I had a child like 2 years.
But that 2 years is a
year. Actually, I got pregnant a year after I turned 21.
Yes, that is correct. I clocked some information. I had to stalk you a little bit. If you guys didn't know, if you look at Instagram, Angelina's Instagram, she's she, not that she used to be a model, but like,
I did modeling.
You were giving me like Visco girl. Like it was like full fledged. Do you know what I mean?
I did modeling for a little bit.
You did?
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yes.
And we actually have an image to show to the audience. I'm just kidding.
What the fuck? I was about to be like, turn off the camera.
But no, also though, I think like, I can't describe the difference in who I was at the beginning of March to now. So when it talks about like a year or 2 years difference, it's a huge thing. Yeah. And you can change. It takes one conversation, one mindset shift, one experience for you to, shift into a new version of yourself. And I can just say that if I had had a kid at 21, there's a reason I didn't. I probably would have messed the kid. I barely was at that point, I didn't start working on myself until I was 2023.
I could not imagine. I mean, we became friends.
I was in alcohol.
Yeah,
I was bad. It was
because I remember when you came on the Unpromised 20s.
Tequila Tyler. Oh god.
Yes.
And I think I might have been still messing with. I went through the phase of going back to my ex, and who would I even had a kid with? No.
Okay. Cut.
It would not. So
yes.
So now I'm 25. No man, no kids. And I'm like, you know what? All right.
I'm not 25 yet. I'm mad at me, though.
I know.
I'll be 25 when
on the
this comes out.
2nd? Fuck, 6. So I got it right. Anybody who knows me, who's ever been a friend of mine, you know that I'm not really good at birthdays. I'm really, really, really not. The only person I know is my brother Dominic because our birthdays are flipped. Like I'm 3/7, he's 7/3.
And you know Savannah's.
Well, and Savannah because she's my birthday twin, March 7th, and Elijah, September 23rd. Anybody else is fair game. The fact that I just got that on the spot, I hope you feel really like.
Period.
Yes. And then I guess like on days where do you ever get days where you start to feel like old self?
Yes.
And what do you do to bring yourself back to centering, to being like the best version of yourself?
Go to the gym.
Yeah. Sometimes you be going like twice in a day. And I'll be like, ooh.
If I'm really feeling it, like if I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm down bad, or I just had a mental breakdown and the baby's still at school, or I have like 30 minutes just to walk the Stairmaster, you will see my ass at the gym.
Yeah.
Like I can't hit rock bottom again.
Well, and also because you now have a little tiny human mini you who depends on you for everything.
Yeah. Or even nights, well, I guess we can go into this one. I get asked this question.
What?
I'm a single mom now. I knew this question was coming.
It is, and I don't know if we were there yet, but I actually think we are there. I was just about to ask you about Savannah. We're going to get into Savannah and talking about her. It was the pause, and I didn't expect. I thought when I heard you say nights, I thought you were going to talk about like. I thought you were going to talk about trying to work around her routine and going to the gym. So when you went, and you guys who are listening, you'll see her face on YouTube if you watch. She like tight lipped it, and then went. I'm a single mother now, and like, it's not. Funny. It's not. I approve. And that's just because I think that you really tried.
Yeah.
And we can get into that, and also like,
well, what I was going to say about the night I don't have her a week and I go out and I party because I'm trying not to think about my daughter not being home.
I wouldn't even say not partying. I would say you're going out and experiencing life as a 24-year-old. Like, you're getting your 20s in still.
Yeah.
Because it's part of being a balanced lifestyle.
I never was used to doing that when I was in a relationship. It was like I would have my girl nights like here and there. But doing it weekly again, I feel like I actually have been sober almost the whole month of April. April 4th was the last time I drank. I'm not drinking till my birthday.
Not because of a problem or anything. It's
just like a self thing.
She wanted to see if she could.
Yeah.
That also, wait, that sounds bad too. Never mind. We're just going.
But like I wanted to take a night and like sit in and like sit with my feelings the night I didn't have my daughter.
Yeah.
And just be like, I'm okay kind of thing. Like, okay, I really don't need to go out and like feel like I can be alone. Like I don't need to be surrounded by people. Oh my God,
can we talk about that? Like you can be like, and everybody needs to be okay with being alone because like you have to be comfortable with yourself and you have to want to be comfortable and love being comfortable with yourself. Like if you are sitting in a room with just you and you're miserable and whatever, then you need to work with yourself, especially if you can't sit there with your feelings. So that's really good that, you do that. We need to do a sleepover.
I know.
When it didn't work out.
It's fine.
A little wine night. No, it is fine.
I was overwhelmed.
I was, you were like out till like literally
6 o'clock.
6, yeah. Motherhood is a really big part of your life, obviously. Not only just, obviously motherhood is literally a full-time job, but it sounds so weird to say full-time job, but it quite literally is.
It's not even a full-time job because a full-time job is 40
Do you know
hours a week.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's your life.
It's a lifestyle.
It's your life.
It's your life.
Now it's, motherhood, and you also too, you love to talk about it. You love to share things. You're very passionate about sharing things for, other mothers and your experiences, unmedicated birth, all that other type of stuff. And like you had mentioned, you're still growing and not exactly sure if you're who you want to be, but one thing she does know is she has turned into the best mother she can possibly be. So Savannah, here's my stats. You have to tell me if I'm right.
Okay.
Because I think that one of these is going to make me laugh.
Oh, gosh.
And I don't know if you did it on purpose.
What?
Did you announce your pregnancy on 9/11?
No, I don't think so.
You did.
I?
You announced your pregnancy on Instagram on 9/11 in 2022.
That's so fucked.
And I didn't know if you did it as like a patriotic thing.
No.
Like, oh, it's all sad. Like
my life was in shambles.
I'm gonna double check. But
if I did that, honestly, that's legendary. On top of doing it with.
You said it's legendary. No,
it's not. But like
it is. I stared at the date and I was like, September 11th.
Pregnancy brain. All right, that's a real thing.
9/11 is September 11th.
Yeah.
No, you definitely did. Hold on. I'm gonna. The fact that you're just finding this out. Yep, September 11th, 2022. I have learned more than a few times.
What the hell? Okay. Never mind.
What? Is this not this is your announcement?
Yeah, that's my announcement.
Yeah, how many people shared that?
Over 150 people, I believe.
Yeah. I can't wrap my head around that, by the way, 100 people sharing it. And I'll put it on their stories, I think, in like a cute way. But at the same time,
it was a lot of negative talk.
I think,
still like that
something. What is
I have to say,
okay.
If you knew me in high school or you knew me 3 years ago or you knew me, honestly, last year and we don't talk anymore, you don't know the kind of person I am.
Nope. Not at all. And I always say if I, in a past version of myself, did something to hurt you out of something I was going through, whatever, you have every right not to forgive me. You have every right to feel some type of way.
I agree.
However, do not say that person is who I am now. No. When I started this podcast, and we've talked about this in previous seasons, when I was in high school, it was the worst time of my life. I was the worst version of myself. I was speaking, acting, hanging around the worst type of people, doing the worst type of things. And when I first started Get Well Soon and really speaking about changing my entire life on my own and everything like that, mentally and physically, oh my God, there were so many people who'd be like, it's so funny, the girls that were bitches in high school trying to speak about self-help. Yeah, you know what? That's why I can speak about self-help, because I was a bitch and now I change people's lives around the world. Like the amount of DMs I get of people like, you saved me with this and you saved me with that. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm like literally little magic. I had a thought this morning. I told you guys I was bumping on my way here. And I was just, I don't know what it was. And I don't even think it was the song. I don't know what, but I had this thought of like, there's not a single person around me who I surround myself, whatever, that's not winning right now.
Yeah.
Like every single person is fucking winning. And I'm like, wait, I actually love that.
Yeah.
There's not a single person that I can think and look at. And I feel like when you, like we always talk about who you surround yourself with really is. Like if you're a younger person and you feel like when older people tell you that, because when we were younger and my mom would be like, you shouldn't hang out with so-and-so because she's a little whatever, or he's this and I was like, no, I'm my own person. You 100%, no, literally, you 100% are, but you are who you surround yourself with.
I agree.
And to see like friends starting businesses and going for, and there's things like especially like on an influencer level, when we talk a difference between like when you're a content creator and you're an influencer, I have fully realized like, wow, because there'll be things like even a little edit. You know how sometimes on my Instagram stories, I'll put a picture and then I'll put a little fog. Yeah. There's a couple of my influencer friends that do that now, or they'll do utilize like the Google form and stuff like that. And it's not even on a like, oh, I did it. It's not like that. It's like oh, I see you. Like, and it's, I always will say to people, I comment on, there's sometimes people will find my comments on posts. I will literally always say, I love to see someone eat. I love to see somebody achieve something, do something and I was talking about there's no competition.
No.
And so I don't know, that was a thought this morning. I was like, wow, like everyone's doing the damn thing, you know? To pull it back, sorry, I don't even know how we started off on 9/11 and then we ended up here. Oh, but so you had 100-something people share your post. They were talking about you. And then you had Savannah on March 7th, 2023. It's actually funny on your 9/11 post. Can't get over that. I had commented, my eyelash is sticking. I commented, oh, it's going to be a Pisces.
Yes,
and then you had her on my fucking birthday.
Yes.
Which in turn ended up being so wholesome because then I lost my birthday twin and then I got a birthday twin. And as a Pisces, just like, on March 7th, like have fun. She's going to be like extraordinary, but
okay.
I don't want a Pisces little girl. I don't know what I'm going to, I'm not going to say like what I want. Cause first of all, I don't even have a man. So let's just take it with a grain of salt. But then you turned 23 almost 2 months after you had her.
Yes.
What do you feel like? So obviously you were changing while you were pregnant. Do you want to talk about that? So you found out you were pregnant.
Yes.
Your whole life changes.
Yes.
Where did you feel the most supported and where did you feel the most unsupported?
After she was born.
That's where you felt
so
the most unsupported?
Yes.
Not during the pregnancy.
No.
It was after.
It was like everyone showed up for the gender reveal.
All the fun stuff.
Like the baby shower, like all that kind of fun stuff. There were like a few times where I was like, I think checking in on your pregnant friends are huge, but also I was at a different point in my life where they didn't understand that. So I get that. They never went through, like, I'm the first friend who went through that.
And that's actually something that doesn't get talked about, being the first friend to go through such a, everybody else is still
it's like very life-changing. Mm-hmm. Like, until you're pregnant, until you see that positive test, not like someone got married yet in our friend group, like, we didn't have any of that.
People still living at home with their friend, with their family,
like
figuring out their relationships.
Think people moved out yet. Like all my girlfriends that have moved out that I'm so proud of, I'm pretty sure they were still they definitely were still living.
I feel like around that time, I feel like a lot of us, well, not even in your friend group, but just our age group, especially now with everything.
22, like you're just graduating college. So you're at a completely different, you're in a different universe.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, I was growing a human. Like, my hormones were crazy. I was scared shitless.
You weren't partying. You weren't going out.
I wasn't partying. I was going out. I was the pregnant lady at the bar.
Okay. I don't ever know why people like sometimes get weird about that. You're right, because I remember seeing you in the Eagle stuff and all that.
Yeah.
But that's fun. You're having fun with your friends that are that age.
Yeah. So I was still going out, and it was cute because all my girlfriends would be like in the bar, like rubbing my belly. Like, it's not like I was left out, and it's kind of funny seeing my friends, like me being sober and them being wasted. Like, I
can't stand being sober around drunk people.
Pregnant and like watching my friends make me like piss myself. Like, it was just funny.
So you felt the most supported when you were pregnant.
Yes.
And then that all kind of like went away when
went away.
And like, what is that like? I feel like there's so much going on.
Yeah.
That should be the last thing that happens.
Yeah.
But almost not everybody. I do feel like I've talked to women and mothers who will say that like, hold on, sorry, I know I keep bumping your mic.
It's okay.
They'll be like, no, like my family, my friends, like, you know, supported and stuff like that. And I think you talk a lot, you give a lot of grace with it whenever you've spoken about it, because you say like, you know, like you were the first one and the age, but at the same time, and I'm just going to speak as somebody that became your friend like later on, Savannah is, I don't know how we're related, but that is like, she didn't come from me, but we're like connected.
Yeah.
Like if something, anyway, I literally like, it's almost like you feel like it takes a village.
Yeah.
She's in my village. I'm in her village, however you want to say it. And my life is nowhere close to motherhood. How many times can I say I have no kids? I have no man. But at the end of the day, I still will step into your life and her life as like over and over and over again. And so I feel like, yes, give grace and understanding, but at the same time, those people should have showed up for you. And
even for her dad, people should have showed up.
Yeah.
That was very life-changing for him. And I wish his friends showed up more.
That's not talked about either, like when it comes to guys, because usually it's about like, you know, we always talk like moms and stuff like that.
But I wish there were friends that did show up, and that the one friend that did, the one out of a few that did show up, he became her godfather, and just like Brianna became Savannah's godmom, they were there.
It shows you
the week after the day I said, so you guys can come visit, they were the first ones to be like, I'm there. As time went on, like even Amber, my really close friend Amber, we became really close. Like, we were always like friends in the same friend group, but we became really close this last year, and she will always make time to come see Savannah. And I feel like and her schedule is insane. Like, I feel like seeing a friend like that and seeing a friend like Brianna, who their schedules are so crazy, but they always make sure to show up and like show love to Savannah.
Yeah.
It means a lot. Like, even you though, like your schedule's insane, and you're like, okay, when can I see Savannah? Like you'll literally FaceTime me just to see, and that means so much. Like a FaceTime call.
Oh my God.
Savannah's at that age now where like a FaceTime means everything.
I save every video you send me in our text messages, like when I don't answer my phone.
Yeah.
She's like, "Ty." Like, I know, literally, sometimes like I'll text you for her or about her, and I'm like, oh my God, I should probably text Angelina about her and for her, like, you know, stuff like that too. I think there's a balance too of just making sure you're there for the mom, even like for the father. But no, but how could you not? Like, that's my thing. It's like, okay, I understand busyness, life, whatever. But if you know Savannah and if you know you, how can you not want to show up?
Yeah.
Like, you could literally call me about anything. And like, even like when she had that like hospital thing, I was so freaked out. I was literally like, what the fuck is going on? It was almost like,
and the friends that reached out during not that like I even posted about it, like I texted the friends that should know about it, and they like all called, and I just wish that some people like showed their face more. That's all, because she's at that age where like she will start recognizing you as like, okay, that is Auntie Brie. Like,
and it's important. You want the people.
That's very important to me, and I want her to know who is close to me.
And you really don't want people who are going to be in and out of her life. Yeah, you would want more like of stability and stuff like that. So in a way of like a silver lining, it kind of like takes that problem away for you.
Yeah.
However, if you're listening to this and you're like, I haven't checked on Angelina or Savannah in a while, can you like get your shit together? And I could tell you, you're missing out. Savannah's hitting that spunk. She's hitting that spunk where like we're in Best Buy and there's crackers everywhere and she's screaming. And
shout out my girlfriends, because this was when she was about to turn 2 and we all went out to dinner and she threw a freaking toy at someone and they just all laughed. I was like,
thank God. Do you remember Chickies and Pete's?
Well, that was just, she was having a bad day because she wasn't even
it got to the point, and I've always, so obviously Angelina's not an iPad mom, which I respect so much, and if you are, that's fine, to each his own. I think people should,
limit.
No, I think people should, spend time with their children and, work on development when they're that little, and if you're out to eat and you can't, anyway, I'm not going to, and that doesn't come from judgment, that's my personal opinion. I think childhood development's a really big thing. Putting an iPad in front of your kid because they're screaming or whatever.
At a restaurant does not.
It's not, and there's degrees to it. Like you said, limiting it. If that is literally all you do is put a screen in front of your child 24/7 over and over again when they're at home, when it's lunchtime, when it's whatever, when you go out to eat and all that other stuff. I don't think that that's healthy. So we have no iPad. And Savannah, she wanted to eat the food super, super hot. And then if we broke it down for her to eat it, she didn't want it. Then it got to the point where she went underneath the table and we just made sure she stayed in between us. And it was and I've always thought, when I'm a waitress, whenever people have their kids running up and around the seats, I'm always like, oh my God, get your kid to sit down. No, that was the day that I was like, no, sometimes you just, and she would stick her head out and look at the people and go, hi, or whatever. And then running and sometimes you just keep it contained.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
We
tried. We gave her crayons. We tried to do the high chair, the seat on the table.
I want to enjoy my food. If she enjoys it by sitting under the table,
screaming hello at people.
Go ahead. Guess what? You'll have a great immune system in a year.
Yeah. And we kept her right. We made sure she was just in between us.
I can see her. I can feel her.
And we got into our seafood boil.
Yes.
Take our drink.
It's fine.
That's what else do you whatever. Remember that one person she waved to and then
didn't wave back?
That's my biggest
But that's why that
peeve.
Mom came up to me and appreciated me after.
Oh, and she said that because you stuck it out. It wasn't whatever.
I wasn't
And also too, I think when kids are throwing tantrums, and I'm not speaking from experience, just of being around kids, nannying, it always goes so much when people grip their kids up and slam them into a seat and it's knock it off. What about that is gonna? Because I bet your kid's gonna start screaming more.
The other day,
what'd you do?
I didn't grip her up. We were in Target and we were walking out, and I don't know what she was doing, and she smacked me across the face. Meanwhile, my child does not smack me. She has smacked.
Did she smack you hard?
Yes, and I was I grabbed her hand and I was like, if you do that again,
I probably would have smacked the back of her hand.
You will never come to Target again. And she started crying
while
we were walking. And I was like, you don't hit Mommy. That hurts.
You don't, though. You don't.
The moment you hit my face. And there are times where I will laugh at her. But the hitting in the face.
That's crazy.
Me?
Yeah.
First of all, if you hit someone else in the face, they could tell you.
They could. Well, no, I wouldn't even. I wouldn't even if Savannah. Honestly, if Savannah slapped me across my face, I would do the same thing. I would have to look away from her at first and hold her hands, and then I would have to sternly tell her. And this is what my cousin has always my cousin's phrase. If you smack me, I'm going to smack you twice as hard, and that's how I learned not to smack people.
Yeah.
So I literally.
It's just hard because she's at that age.
I would have smacked her right in the butt. I would be you. But you don't hurt. But the thing is this is we talk about beating and hit.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna be slap the shit out of a 3-year-old back. No, but come here. I'm gonna. You want pinchies? I'm gonna get. It's. I'm gonna make it so you don't want to slap me. Yeah. But also at the same time, letting you don't do that. My mom tells a story. I had hid from her. And we could say Ross. It wasn't probably Ross at the time.
I did the same thing.
And when she had finally found me, what is that? What? I think I disappeared or something. She's crying because I was her first kid. She was young. She found me. When she finally found me, I socked her right in the face. I had completely winded back. Not a slap. I socked her in the face in front of everybody.
You would have got socked.
like close fister. Yeah. So when you said like she slapped him, like
My mom shut down the whole Dick's Sporting Goods when I was younger because I hid in between a rack.
Yeah.
And then it scared me so bad that I didn't want to come out because they shut it down.
Because you knew it was bad.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm not coming out now.
I have a picture of Elijah. He actually did it in a Ross, and I was in charge of him. And so, obviously, if you've ever lost a child, and like you personally have ever lost a child,
it's the worst feeling in the world.
And it was my little brother,
I've done that with my siblings before.
So I tell my mom, we're looking, or whatever. I'm running up and down the aisles, and all of a sudden I see this little red mitten covering. He had the jacket wrapped around him, but you could see his red mitten, and like literally it only covered like right here because he was so little. And when I stood outside of it, I heard him go. I was like, Elijah, step out of the jacket. And he opened it and he went, peekaboo. And I was like, it was like 30 minutes. And I was like, I thought somebody kidnapped him. I thought like I was going to spend the rest of my life as the girl who lost her little brother and they found him in a ditch. And literally like nope, he was playing hide and go seek. He didn't hit me though afterwards. He just said peekaboo. And then he went up into my arms and he did not leave my arms the entire time. Kids will really throw you for a loop. And do you feel like as you brought up being a single mom, do you feel like it's even more of loops that you're kind of going through? In terms of
what, like being scared when I go out?
Like, okay, let's say, no, Angelina has fears, people. She thinks things are gonna happen that I don't think will ever happen to her in her entire life, or to the people around her. Like when she thought that I was gonna have a stranger call through my basement window and come to the second story and kill me, even though there literally is no possible way for that to happen. No, I mean, yes, you can talk about that. I meant more so of like,
I just make up fears as I go.
I just make up fears as I go. That is, but maybe that's like a mom thing.
I think it's a mom thing.
I think it's
when my daughter started crawling. Oh my god! I like pictured myself like, what if she crawls out the front door, gets hit by a car when she learned? Yeah.
Oh, it probably is a mom thing.
It is a mom.
I don't know if you're a mom. Can you like let us know? Well, I just want to know is that a mom thing?
I think so.
Or something that kind of like. Not that it's a mom thing, but can
you
occur.
Think the worst, or like,
or you're just scared.
When
like,
Savannah was like younger, really tiny, I always thought like, what if she fell asleep on me while she was napping and like suffocated herself like in my boobs because they were so big.
Yeah.
At the time, and
I was like, you were a first mom. You were young, and it's your first.
Yeah.
Like I think by your third, you're gonna be like, all right, it'll crawl back inside. Like. Okay, when she slapped you, let's say like you were there, we could say like a husband.
Yeah.
Like that would be where you could hand her to him.
Yeah.
Take a moment to like woosah down or whatever, or even nights that are rough. If you said she was obviously before we started filming, you had said she's going through regression.
2-year regression. Yes.
Like things like that. Is it different now as a single mom going through those?
Yes. Yes and no.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about being a single mom, or kind of just like, don't worry if you guys are like, oh, I wish you guys would talk about the entire thing about motherhood. Angelina, she's going to be using her platforms to really dive into that. We have some really fun, exciting things coming in terms of just like stuff that like your creative kicks back, and not that I ever left, but you definitely have been messaging me like ideas and stuff about what you want to do with your platform. Sorry, I feel like I'm like salivating. But speaking about social media, I pulled some fun stats. But before we do it, I found something in my things the other day. Where is it? I think this is back from, it might be the first time we ever did any of our like manifestation type of stuff. I found one of our old notebooks, and this was like your mommy content ideas that I rewrote down so that I had them. And I was looking at it. It was like new to nursing, pack a bag with me. And it's like things that you did.
Yeah.
Like, but this is before you did them. And on here you have Wellness Wednesday, which stay tuned for that. But it's things. So I brought that to you because sometimes it's a nice reminder to like see things that you wrote years ago and look back and be like, wait, I did this, I did that, and stuff. So I just think you should be accomplished. Also because you have almost 35,000 followers on TikTok, and I wanted to show you what that looks like in a crowd.
That's crazy.
And that's just on TikTok. So, like, that's
insane.
how many people, like, you literally have a small army. And you did that by sharing, you know, well, I went back. So your first post publicly on TikTok is March 16th, 2020, and it is dancing. You actually started off dancing on TikTok.
Yes.
And
me and my mom.
And it was like the really and people loved it, but like you guys, like,
we were
your outfits matched like the trend that was going on. And I was like, wait, I remember, like, I feel like because I started like we started like chatting and following during that time. But I didn't realize, like, no, you guys were TikTok dancers. Like,
we were. Like, we had like people like messaging us on TikTok.
No, it was
we blew up really quick. We should have continued.
Well, you guys went 110%. Like, you guys were literally. I'm watching and I'm like, oh, you guys are like, and your mom would be like, not shaking ass like that, but like popping it, and then you would be popping it back, and I'm like, wait, they're like quite literally, and the comments and like people absolutely loved it, and then you got pregnant, and then it turned into your like motherhood and stuff like that, and people loved that too. So I think it's kind of cool that people, you know,
some
grew
people
with
have
you
been there
since you were dancing with your mom, and now you're like. Nursing school, and just kidding, and like that type of stuff. So I think that journey is pretty cool. Is that so? Did you start your social media presence just kind of for fun? Because that was during the pandemic.
Yes.
So was it like a pastime thing?
So my mom was actually really big on Instagram. She had an Instagram called Brick House of Six. And I would like help her do stuff with that. I had a YouTube channel like in middle school, and I actually got it shut down because I was getting bullied like freshman year of high school about it. Yeah. So I like got that shut down.
Look at her now. Just kidding. All love. I had to stop flicking people off, but like.
And then me and my mom would like send me like things or I would send her stuff, and she was like, let's start dancing.
So it was your mom's idea.
It kind of was my mom's idea. And then I kept like pushing her. I was like, wait, let's take another one. Let's do this one. Let's try this one.
Like you kept it hip and wait, and you guys like literally like.
And then she got really busy with work, and it was like, because it was like mid-COVID.
Working in the medical field and stuff like that.
So it kind of like we kind of stopped for a while. And then I kind of did like my own thing when I got pregnant, and I just like continued. I kind of took a break in between that, but I continued my journey once I got pregnant because I was like, this is such a fun thing to share, and I kind of want to look back.
And so what was like what would you say would be like the purpose of that kind of content? Like it was passion and fun and learning, stuff, and I wanted to help.
And I wanted to help other people.
Oh, I love that.
So one of my first viral videos when I was pregnant was at 28 weeks. I should know this, but I'm having a brain fart. You have to get blood glucose test done as a mom. You have to drink this. I never drank it. This sugary drink, and supposedly it can give you really bad side effects like headaches, nausea, vomiting, and the headache can last for days. But I found a healthier version, the fresh test. Okay. And it tastes like lemonade. And it does the same thing. You still are able to test your sugars.
Because I heard the normal one tastes, it's disgusting.
Yeah. I've never tasted it. I don't want to, but I get really bad migraines. And I didn't want that to trigger my migraines kind of thing. Yeah. So I posted about the fresh test. And yeah.
I always say it's always, regardless if it's something on a beauty level, a health, whatever, when you give people value, especially if it's like, the whole point of what social media really should be is sharing and teaching. Yeah. It shouldn't be to bully, harass, compare, whatever. It's you have so much knowledge and resources right there on your phone, and it's people like you where you're like, oh my God, wait, this happened in my personal life. This is something that's really, which is I love. That's how I like to do like my content. Yeah. It's genuine. It's the best kind of content, and to like look at it and be like, oh wait, let me actually share this because I'm sure there's so many other first time moms or whatever, even moms that have had multiple kids and they don't know about it, and you wouldn't believe it, or maybe you wouldn't think about it, but there's a lot of people that will go through the same thing and not think once about anybody else, versus you went through and you're like, actually, let me post this to the World Wide Web, and in exchange, it came back tenfold for you, you know? And I think that's a very rewarding thing. Do you find that like social media and sharing can be rewarding in that way?
I do. And definitely with something I'm passionate about. Like, yeah, TikToking and dancing was fun during COVID. There was nothing really else to do. But now being able to share such a like life-changing experience with others is absolutely amazing. And I feel like moms, like, sometimes they hide in their bubble and they're like, maybe I'm just feeling this. And it's like, no, you're not. Like, there's other moms out there that do feel this, and it's okay to talk about it.
Like when we post clips on our TikTok and moms come forward and they'll be like, oh my God, I went through this, whatever. I think that's so, I mean, meanwhile, I am known, one of my biggest things is shaving, like helping people with ingrown hair. So I get DMs about people's pubic hair.
Yes.
Men and females of all ages. Sometimes they're like younger kids. And I'm like, oh my God, there's a 15-year-old messaging me right now asking me how to trim his pubes or how to shave her. And it's like, okay. I'm like, you know, you do it. And it's so crazy. And then I'll have people like come back like months later, like, oh my God, like, thank you so much. I'm not insecure about my pubic hair. And I'm like, hey, like, this is like that what I expected. But and as much as it's weird because of the area and like talking to other people about it, but it's like there's different, I don't know. There's different, like being known for like lashes and stuff like that is like really cool. Even like the hair, like all that other stuff. But I think too, when it comes to like just lifestyle, I think when it's lifestyle, that is because that changes everything when you're able to.
Lifestyle's hard to talk about because you're really like talking about your life. And like some things you don't want to be
Not everybody does.
Yeah.
Some people aren't genuine about it.
Yeah.
And but I feel like if you're genuine, you could always see when it's not.
Yeah. And that's why when you are going through a tough time and why when we were going through a tough time a few months ago, we just were like, all right, like we're not ready to talk
We
about
can't give them anything that's valuable here.
And we don't fake it until we
we just needed to pull back. And it is paying off so much. I know you guys are probably like obsessed with it, like love. Speaking about season 2 and just season 1, obviously our anonymous submission form is back open.
Yes.
We are so excited. We almost had 100 people in one season because that wasn't actually season 1. That was just season 2. And it was a short season 2. Yeah. Almost 100 people. And you guys were like, we were one.
And
like
that episode was hard to film. I know for me personally.
Yeah,
like
it was.
Like I remember dragging my feet that morning and being like, I really don't want to do this.
And then like we are hearing like the craziest shit of people happening, and meanwhile I don't even know what's going on in my own life when they're like, so how do you girls do this, and that? And I'm like, I have one working brain cell.
I know my feet.
Angelina doesn't want to be here right now. She's looking at me like, can we please stop? Can we please stop? And I'm like, we can't stop because we had 40-something unanswered anonymous submissions. And some people were like, please help us. And I'm like, we have to do our service to the people. This is our last hurrah. And then never posted it. So, but however, after we filmed that episode, you guys kept rolling in. And I'm kind of confused because I'm pretty sure I took down the form. So you guys must have like had it. I don't know where it was. But yes, speaking about our bestie, our rapid fire OG bestie, we love you. You came through on New Year's. You came through a couple weeks ago. And I clocked you. I literally, when I went into the forum before filming this and I saw it was like, Happy New Year's. I was like, I love you.
Happy
Whoever
New
you
Year's,
are, like you need to stick with us forever. Ever, never. Oh, before I wrap up, I meant to ask you real quick, just briefly. Do you plan on continuing to, like, be online and social media as you progress through your own personal nursing career?
Yes.
I love that.
Because you guys will see, but there's 2 sides in nursing. The medical side, I guess you can say, and the holistic side.
Yeah.
If you guys know me, people like to say I'm a crunchy mom. I don't like labels, so that's not how I.
You're a holistic mom. You're a healthy. You're a wellness aware. You're a wellness driven. Nope. We need to fix the label. We're gonna work on it. We're gonna work on it. But crunchy moms, it's out. 2025. It doesn't exist. Wanting your kids and yourself to be healthy should be a flex. It should be your goal. And I'm sorry that you give your kids red 40.
My child will not have.
It's literally bad.
I don't care.
Go to another country. Go to another country. Bro, the food, I had no allergic.
different episode.
We'll see in a segment.
They're actually banning it in the U.S. I actually saw something this morning when I was walking the treadmill. They're banning the red dye.
You could do so many other things.
Yellow dye.
Our orange sodas and all that. Good. Please, somebody help us. But before they do that, can they fix the chicken? Because my chicken, last time I bought it, it melted. It melted. I understood when people say, I definitely bought fake chicken. I don't buy chicken anymore.
That's disgusting.
Okay. Melted.
That's absolutely foul. Shout out my dad. One time he gets his meat. He gets the animals slaughtered. He doesn't do it himself, but he gets them slaughtered.
And this is why I get ground turkey. That sometimes it looks different and cooks different too, and I just don't know anymore what's happening. But that's see you on Mondays. Hey, that's fine. Ready? So this is from our rapid fire OG bestie.
Yes.
And I'm gonna ask you.
Okay.
But I do. Okay, we actually had a couple, so we're just gonna knock these out. Ready? Last time you've been to the club?
3 weeks. March.
Would you say that any of your exes were actual nice guys?
Maybe.
Would you go to Dallas sometime to see the Eagles play, or are scared of the boys' fans?
What? I'm going to Dallas.
If you were working at a restaurant and you had a customer that acted normal, was nothing remarkable or unordinary, who would be more likely to remember? I love you. I'm skipping that one. I'm really confused on what's happening. And it's a double one. Would you prefer slim men like 110 to 160 or men that are 250 to 290, but they're chunky instead of muscular?
Muscular. I'm sorry.
No. The men that are 250 to 290 aren't muscular, and the men that are slim is 110 to 160. So skinny or fat?
Is fat. Fat. Yeah. You're not being skinnier than me. 110. That's crazy for a man. Absolutely not.
One time
Do you know how small that is?
Yeah, I've dated a smaller man. And one time I told him that I sent him like that meme about the napkin flying out the window, and I feel like that got brought up a lot afterwards. Who's more likely to send someone a friend request on Facebook? If I see somebody that I'm like associates with, then I'll add it. Yeah. What is the difference between a polite smile to a stranger or a "you're cute" smile to a stranger?
You're asking the wrong person.
And I was going to speak about you don't smile at people. Actually, so I'll answer it for you. This is probably why I smile at people the exact same.
Yeah.
My flirt is if I bully you. Okay.
Red flag. Keep going.
Yeah, I'm
the same way too.
I'm working on it. I'm working on a lot of love relationship themed things. And just add it to the list. But I also do believe men like to be bullied on a like a cute level.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm not like mean. I'm not like you ugly. No, I'm not. I'm just like.
Could you imagine? Okay.
Like I'll tussle you. Like
tussle.
And then we had another anonymous submission. This one's for you. Would you consider yourself a loose cannon when drunk? You seem like a person that tells it like it is sober, but do you feel that you give even less of a fuck when drunk? We've talked about this.
I give 0 fucks. Like when I'm drunk, I have
like it's fight before flight.
Yeah, bro.
There's no flight.
I'm not even. I won't throw hands. I'm a mom now, unless I really have to.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm about to be a nurse. Like, I have too much to lose.
No fighting. But you're gonna yap.
Oh yeah, I'm yapping. I'm saying how it is.
Like if somebody bumps you when you're drunk.
Oh, excuse you. That's all you have to say. Say excuse me.
Okay, so I'm the same way, and I also don't throw hands anymore. Like retired scrapper, I don't. There's nothing. I don't. I can pay my own bail, but don't put me in any type of cell. I'm not meant for it. Don't have any of the ladies in there. No. So I know that. However, if I have to defend myself or my friend, I will. When I'm sober, I really will. I'm good. I will avoid conflict. I rarely, if I say something like, okay, but when I'm drunk, hello?
I'm always sticking up for my
And if I don't say it, my face does. Oh, and the friend
this actually just happened a few weeks in March. This happened. Some girl pushed my friend and
that's a whole, well, I got into a fight for that.
Shoved her.
But
from behind and like,
my eye would twitch. it's a snap and I'm gone and I black out.
I just kept running.
Yeah. So that answered your question. This was it's a two-parter, so I figured, do you want to have your own little?
Yeah. Tyler, I know you said you're an open book, but are there people that you feel like your conversations are just dry and or surface level consistency? Is that ever intentional on your part, or is it because the person doesn't put that much effort into conversations sometimes? Like if I said on TikTok that you have deep conversations and great conversations with your followers, but on Snapchat, let's use Snapchat anymore as an example. If anyone still uses that, may seem to be guarded or keep things simple with certain people.
I think you were talking about a social media presence. Definitely, it can be different on different platforms. TikTok, I'm the most open book. And then my Instagram stories, I'm like really lifestyle. Snapchat, I really just kind of started coming back to it. I don't really... So, yeah, it varies on social media. But that's social media. In real life, I am not a surface level person. I do overshare, but I don't even would call it oversharing. I'm not a surface level person.
No.
And so if you are a surface level, I probably do have minor conversations with you.
Yeah.
And I don't look forward to talking to you, but I also will still be below surface level with a surface level person. You don't get it. And I notice you don't get it. And I notice that you're staying up here and okay, I'm going to, stay down here. But it's actually funny. I had a past guy recently tell me that like one of the most, so I've learned that men that have encountered me, they never can find me anywhere else, and I'm not surprised. I have self-value now. I understand, and one of the biggest things too is like conversations, like the fact that like whether it's the weirdest shit they've ever heard I've said, whether it's like calling them out on something that's not necessarily between us, but like, and it's because I am such an open book and I'm so below surface level that but I wouldn't say that I don't change that based. I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm on Snapchat, let me hold my tongue. No, it kind of just is very natural and like where I feel to say things.
Very natural. It just flows.
It just, because I don't think, and that's, so I really don't think. And that's where the oversharing can sometimes happen. But thanks. I wouldn't say. Now, if somebody really can't hold a conversation, well, then I'm just not going to have a conversation with you because I'm bored and I need my brain to be stimulated. Oh, so something that we didn't do at all last season or the season one before, and sorry for our guests, we would literally make people sit here for 2 hours straight and just whatever. Oh. So we're incorporating.
It's also hard to do a break.
It is, but we're incorporating it now. And this break, we actually have a sponsorship. This episode is brought to you by Brush Hair Artistry, owned by the wonderful Crystal Rendino. Brush Hair Artistry is Pittman, New Jersey's up-and-coming salon where urban sophistication meets laid-back country charm. With a beautiful lakeside view, this salon offers a stylish yet cozy destination for all your men and women's hair and beauty needs. When you're ready for that head of hair to be taken care of, for those of you watching on YouTube, make sure to scan that QR code or head over to our link in bio to check out Brush Hair Artistry. All right, we're coming up on the end. So obviously nursing, let's touch base. How do you feel about nursing? How's everything going?
It's going good.
You feeling better than our last previous seasons and conversations? I feel like things are grooving. We're getting to the end.
And my class has graduated. I am so proud of them. Now I'm with a new class, obviously, because I failed a semester by 0.3. Besides the point, or 0.4, one of those. Besides the point, not even a half a point.
Because I looked into your program, and can you tell me if this is correct? Accelerated Bachelor of Science in Nursing, ABSN.
ABSN.
I'm there. This is correct?
It's bachelor's? No, it's accelerated. It's RN.
So what is ABSN? Okay, regardless. So then this is not
It's associates.
Is it typically completed in 12 to 24 months?
It's completed in 15 months.
Is it BSN?
Nope.
Google failed me. All right. Anyway, so you're an accelerated
nursing program? Correct. Yeah. I am.
15 months.
15 months.
Bam, bam, bam.
Bam, bam, bam.
As you're a full-time mom, as you're sharing your life, influencing, helping people change their lifestyles and all that other stuff, becoming a single mom, all that, you're in an accelerated nursing program.
Yes. So
blink twice if you need help. She blinked more than twice. I think she's fine.
That means I need more help. But we're going up on our last semester, so we'll do 2 days of 12-hour clinicals for 8 weeks, and the other 8 weeks we have 2 days of just 8-hour clinicals, which we're used to, and then we have 3 days of classes. So you'll notice that Tyler is going to be interviewing just.
Yes. So it's as the season goes on, you guys are going to see it's still going to stay one-on-one.
It's not going to be 3 people. I'll be behind camera.
She'll be here. She's involved still. It's just it works better. We didn't want another situation where we're coming up, life gets crazy. Yeah. And also I know just because of how the previous semesters, whatever, you need to be locked in.
Yeah,
like
I have
fully
to be locked in.
Like no other, especially when we get closer to mid-season, end of season, when things are probably going to be picking up really crazy for the podcast. But she'll still be here, and we have fun things incorporated.
Yes.
She doesn't have it on right now because she got robbed, but we have new merch coming out. We're working that out, and then we're going to have some fun stuff. The rest of this year, we got it. We're locked and loaded.
August.
Guys, and then the fall, the best time of the year. Well, right now we're heading into also the best time of the year, which is summer and warm weather. But she will. I was going to ask you about nursing before, getting into the end of the episode. What is one thing you wish you knew before starting that you know now for girls, guys, whoever that are even debating, like, ooh, should I do accelerated nursing?
You have to be locked in. You can't have distractions. I mean, life goes on. I had a lot of bumps in the road during nursing school. But you need to be locked in, and you need to have a good support system, and the people around you need to understand what's going on. Like, an accelerated nursing program is difficult. A lot more difficult than a 4-year program. Bottom line.
What would you say? So let's say, you're locked in, whatever, and you do have a bump in the road. How do you still, you know what I'm saying? Keep yourself grounded.
Well, I didn't do that last summer. I failed this semester.
Yeah.
But
getting back into it.
Back into it, and when I did have that big bump in the road,
is it keeping the idea of
keeping the idea that,
or the vision, I should say, of
you chase your dreams. If it's a dream of yours to be a nurse, then you will have that motivation to keep going. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know people who are in my program that have failed out of their old nursing school program and who came back because they were like, this is my dream. This is what I want to do. I'm not in it for the money. And honestly, nurses make
you
good money.
You really should not be in the medical field if it's financially based. It should be that you want to help save lives,
need to be
aid in
there
lives.
Because you want to be there.
And what's your end goal? I don't mean to cut you off, sorry, but
I want to start off in the NICU.
Props to you.
Yes, I want to be in the NICU. I want to go back for my NP license, so nurse practitioner. I will be going back for my master's, hopefully. But I also would love to be a midwife.
I would let you be my midwife. I would let you deliver my kids.
Had a unmedicated birth, so I would know what another mom is going through. And not saying that all moms that get midwives end up doing the unmedicated route, because it's a freaking hard thing to do. But I just want to be there to support another mom, especially if they don't have that support system, but they still want to do it for themselves and the baby.
Well, I need you to really, and I know you will, but I need you to, because actually I would be so at peace with you being my midwife.
My next baby, I know a home health or a home birth is so expensive.
But compared to hospital now, right?
But no, it is. It's so expensive.
I'm just going to blow up a pool from Walmart and get in it. And then you just help me pop it out, my husband. I feel like
it's not that it's simple. But
I'll get the scissors.
Listen, it's expensive, but hopefully I have the money then, because that is a dream of mine to do a home birth, and I would love that.
Also, though, too, depending on where you're at in life, well, I don't know how long it would take you to get to midwife, but you could also do it in a way of you obviously would know other midwives. Like, I'm sure that if you were a midwife, another midwife would do it for you without you having to pay.
Also, my mom, like,
yeah.
does that
did he originally start in like your bathtub?
I started at home.
Yeah.
Actually, I woke up at like 4 a.m, I think, that morning. I was cramping, but I was having Braxton Hicks already, which is like fake contractions, I guess you can say.
Okay.
So I thought it was just them. And then I went to a bagel shop with my daughter's dad, and I was like, these are a lot freaking stronger. And he was looking at me like, what is wrong with you? Because I was like going back and forth.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh crap.
Like, these are actual.
These are real. So I put my ass on the treadmill and I was walking.
Yeah, I love that.
Bouncing. And then I had my mom check me before I got in the bath. Yes, she examined me, but it was also, she had sterile gloves on. Maybe. She had gloves
also,
on.
I feel like anybody who's
It's
like
not a sterile field.
But I feel like anybody who's like concerned about your mom who works in med checking you out for having like, get a grip.
Yeah, she's amazing at what she does.
There's men who deliver their kids and whatever on the side of the road.
Yeah,
screaming on the phone. You ever see the one guy's like, what do I do? He's like, what do I grab? What do I grab? It's coming. My favorite is when they're like, it's coming. And the wife's like, shut up. And they're like, he's like, oh my God, I can see it. I'm like, also real quick, because I do, we're coming to the end of it and there's just like 2 more things or whatever. What do you feel? Did Sean watch you give birth?
Yes.
Like, watch? Okay, so
he didn't watch. He watched the very beginning. He saw something. He thought Savannah's head was this big because of the top. Like, it was the top of her head.
Yeah.
Like, I think he called, like, a rat head. Like, literally, because she had so much hair. It was so dark.
And he
like,
thought
Savannah
it was, like, literally going to be.
very dark-featured baby until she was a year old, I feel like.
Because my husband will not be watching. He can help if he wants to, but he needs to like look at me.
I promise you, you will not be in the state of mind where you give a stop. I don't care what you say.
I'm telling you right now.
No. Then you shouldn't be with the man.
No. Okay, so you're talking about roles reversed. I could love if, like, say I was a lesbian or I was a man. This is a preference thing. I would not want to see that. I watched a lady give birth. I never want to see some shit like that again.
But some men want to see... but he looked quick, and then I think he looked away.
And guess what? My husband will respect me. You want 6 of these? You're not going to look at this. You're not going to look at that. I don't. And honestly, everybody thinks I'm so crazy for this. You will not look there.
I literally just, after giving birth...
I also want to be in water, so I feel like you can't even see.
I didn't give a
Well, that's another...
I pulled my boob out in the middle of the restaurant if I had to. I did not.
Oh, that's different. I don't care. That is different. I'm talking about a gaping hole. But also, I just thought about it. I want to do a water birth. You can't even see it. It'll look distorted. You won't even know what's going on. Honestly, my husband can pass out for all I care. Just make sure you like wake up when it's time to like handle shit. No.
Never.
And you know what? I'm just such a solo person. This is what I'm talking about. I just don't like. Can I just give birth by myself? Can I just have kids by myself? I know. I'm working on it, you guys. I really, truly am working on it. But I'm excited because, you're going to do so great this semester. You're going to finally check all the boxes off. We're going to do it.
No, we're doing it.
And you're going to, continue sharing your wellness, your lifestyle. We have some exciting segment fun stuff, coming back on the podcast. Like we said, this season's going to be a little bit different with one-on-one interviews and Angelina, behind the camera. But we've figured out ways for her to still be here through the podcast, through Get Well Soon. And Get Well Soon is expanding. It's just doing its thing. And we love that. But we could not end this conversation. I also, too, want to just thank you for, like, sharing certain things, even though, like, just touching base. But obviously, to share your life in a way to influence others, it does not come at a cost, but it takes a part of you to do something like that, especially vulnerability. Ooh. I almost didn't get it, but I did get it. Is a huge thing. People watching, people talking, and to be kind of like, nah, actually, I don't give a fuck about that.
I also just want to say, because we didn't really touch big on this single mom thing and what happened, and I don't really want to go into depth.
Which is why I kind of just breezed past it, but go ahead.
But I do want to say it takes a lot out of a woman, and if you are a mom that have left a spouse, and maybe it looks so happy on the outside and you're like, why did she leave? And you hear a guy's point of view or a different point of view. Just know it takes everything out of a mom to leave.
Yeah.
And
to step away from the full family image.
Yes. It takes a lot. And I saw a TikTok the other day and I reposted it because I was like, wow, that's so true. Having to build a family that you put together, and then having to step away from that as a mother.
You tried.
It destroys you.
But we've talked this before. You don't keep a damaged home just to have a full home.
And just know you don't know everything that went on behind closed doors. If
you never do.
If I left, kind of thing, and I did leave. I will never, ever, ever.
But to be honest, you left for you. You left for Savannah, and you left for him.
Yes.
Like it just.
And he's doing the best he can.
Yeah.
And we're both doing the best we can to
figuring it out.
Keep it civil. All I ever want is a civil co-parent. It's still new, I guess. A few months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. I don't even know. Lost track, but we're doing our best, and that's all I can do. And I don't want to be that parent that trashes the other parent. I always want to. I want the best.
You don't, because
generally
it plays a role later on in life when your kids grow up and they remember things and they're like, why would you talk about dad like that? Or why would you talk about mom like that? You know?
And generally, I just want the best for him, and I want him to be an awesome dad to Savannah because that's what she deserves. And I want to be an awesome mom for Savannah because she deserves that. And we're in this for her. Yeah. Not each other anymore, unfortunately. But
so I think, sorry. No. Everyone. I was just going to say, I think it would be really nice to have, checking if it's on. I'm traumatized from our canon. I didn't want to touch Tutu base because I knew it was fresh. And I just, when there's a child involved, I feel like as much as like, okay, let's have that conversation. At the same time, like I think about Savannah and I think about, asking her mom to talk about being that type of thing. But I think it would be really, we touched base on it here and at the season finale to kind of like circle back in and check in and be like, okay, so how has co-parenting been now for months in time? So
hard.
It's hard already.
It's hard. It is hard because your feelings get involved. Like maybe I missed him in the beginning and like he missed me at some point, so then like your feelings get involved and then you kind of get angry at each other because you miss each other, and then you're like, wait, hold up, like this is
all at the same time of trying to be mom and dad.
Like we're doing this for Savannah. Take a step back. Let's realize that it's hard. I mean, I'm never gonna
you're still people, you're still human beings.
But and the one thing I very much respect of him, yes, I'm that crazy mom. I don't let my kid have McDonald's, don't let my kids have Doritos, and don't let my kids have certain things. No candy. You can have chocolate. Sure, once in a while we can go get ice cream. I'm crazy like that.
And he respects it?
He respects it. He understands my point of view.
That's good co-parenting.
I'm happy he respects that. He respects my belief on the medical side of things and how I want... if I am doing some vaccines, if I'm not doing some vaccines, he respects that because he knows I do my research. And that was one thing I always adored about him, is he always let me take the upper hand with that side of motherhood. And I think, honestly, when they say moms know best, moms know best.
I mean, you were connected. Yes. You were literally in there. I will say, though, some mom, you do.
I do.
And I firsthand.
And he knows I do. Yeah. He knows.
I, just to get to kind of like confirm your perspective, I have seen and do see the opposite of where one parent does not respect the other parents. And
you're affecting the child at that point, and that's one thing.
Especially when the other parent's right.
Yes.
Like, especially when you're in the wrong. Okay, maybe if you're, but like, you're wrong.
Yeah.
And I come from a split household. I've seen my siblings come from other like split house. And it's not a good split. It's never been so. Like what you guys are doing for Savannah, it'll pay off. Even though it's hard and stuff like that, it really will, because there's so many things that I'm unlearning as an adult and stuff like that I don't think I would have if co-parenting was what it should have been between my mom and my dad and my mom and my stepdad.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and it's so different. It's completely two different ones too. I'm almost like we should freaking film another episode and we just go all in on co-parenting because I mean, I haven't, but like I've watched two different forms of it in two broken households, and I'm just like, this.
It's hard, and he, like, we spent her birthday together. I don't know if that was good for us because it was, like, on the sooner side of things, but, like, she was so happy, and seeing her happy, that's all I meant. I don't want her to go through holidays. Like, I hope one day when he finds the one, I find the one, even if it's not, like, each other, I hope that we are able to all be in the same room on Christmas. Like, that is my goal. Like, that is
I'll give you a little.
But if it's toxic and like the one party the one party can't handle it, then obviously I won't do it. But like that's a goal of mine because I always went from home to home to home on holidays.
And I, even as an adult now, hop.
Yeah, me too. And I can't freaking stand it.
But I will say my dad and my mom do. So, like, my dad's coming to my little brother's football game this Friday.
Yes, like, that's adorable. And I watched...
But I'm also 25.
Yes.
So, it's so for you to have that intention so early on, I think that you'll be able to...
And I also see, like, Brianna, like, her dad does the same for her siblings who... He's not related to them, but he likes showing up for them. And, like, that's, like, huge. And... That's what I want.
Yeah.
So
I think you're gonna. I honestly think everything you want, you're gonna get for this year, and in a lot of transition, a lot of changing. But at the same time, I feel like you have your feet planted.
Yeah.
You're good. School's going good. It's gonna continue to going good. You're gonna continue figuring out with Sean and co-parenting, and also like you get to watch your Rugrat, because she's very much a Rugrat right now. She's a Rugrat. She's a Rugrat. A very, very, very cute Rugrat, but she's
a Rugrat.
She's a Rugrat.
She is sass.
She is. The sass is crazy. It's her way or no way. Clearly, because she slapped Angelina the other day. Like that, when you said it to me, I was like, Savannah. If you guys have, if this is your first time tuning in, we have always done something called Peak and Pit, but we're going to do a little different this season. Peak is the highlight of, we're just going to say how you're feeling right now. It could be like the day, the week, something that happened. And then Pit is like your least favorable. I could have lived my entire life without this type of thing. And so, but instead of leaving it at Pit, okay, what's your Peak and Pit? And then I'll tell you.
Can I not do a pit?
Well, you don't have to do a pit.
Okay,
but it's
I'll
peak,
say my pit.
It's peak and pit, but the pit we're going to turn to a peak.
Okay, I'll say my pit.
Okay.
Ruining. Okay, well, half of my summer is going to be ruined from this nursing school, but turn it into a peak. It's only one summer that I'm missing out on, and now all the summers to follow.
And technically, you still are experiencing summer. You're just not experiencing that.
My summer.
The schedule you want. But after that, you'll be set. And you'll never have another summer where you have to.
Yes.
And what's your peak?
My peak, this podcast, first of all, I love being back.
Oh my God.
In a good mood. Like, it's been like...
And then when we take the headphones off, and it's like back to the real world, and it's like, it doesn't even feel like we're here for 2 hours.
No.
Not at all. That's my peak.
That's my peak.
Yeah, the podcast being back. Yeah. I'm like, fuck yes. Like, let's do it.
I'm so ready to listen on Sundays.
No, come on. And on the back, what is it? Sundays are, what is this? What is the back of our thing? Sundays just became your favorite day. Sundays just became your best day. You'll see on the back of the merch, something like that. And then my pit, I'm really deep in the I'm really unlearning a lot of stuff. Yeah. And it's not necessarily things that I learned from other people. It's really like limiting beliefs and thoughts. And it's really crazy to fight with yourself mentally every day. Like literally fighting with myself. I'm at war with myself right now mentally. But at the same time, every time I like get over a thought or like, I just know that I'm peaking, like, and it's just making me a better person. And it's really, I cannot express, I've never felt such alignment in like my highest version, who I imagine when I think about the best version of self. So, as much as it's like, I'm like, no, actually, let's get it going. Yeah. Cause like, I like to get hotter. Thank you.
Hotter and striving.
But yes, this was season 1, season 3. Okay, listen, the lights are blinding me. I'm out of it. This was Season 3. I can't believe we've done 3 seasons.
I know, it's crazy.
We're really them.
We're that.
Hers, but so them's. Nope. All right. All right. Okay. We love you guys. We can't wait to keep seeing you guys every Sunday at 12 p.m. We're going to do a different posting time.
Yes.
Give you guys a little have time for your breakfast. I go to church now, so I also was keeping that in mind of like being able to get out of church. And you guys are probably like, Tyler, what the fuck is going on? Like, are you okay? I'm like, blink twice for help. No blinking. If this is your first time tuning in, I hope you really loved the conversations that we had. We strive to, create this space with Get Well Soon. That's what it's all about. And the Get Well Soon podcast is just an extension of that, giving you guys the visuals, the conversations. We're on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Pandora. We're now actually on like 14 streaming platforms.
Which is crazy.
So you have no excuse. No excuse at all, but to listen and listen all the way. If you have listened all the way, let us know. Let us know what your favorite part was. Or if somebody shared this with you, like,
we love you.
Say thank you to them.
Yes.
Shout out our rapid fire UG besties.
Yes.
Sorry, I just got to give you another shout out. We love you. We love you. Head over to the Get Well Soon podcast in between episodes on Instagram and TikTok to watch all of the fun footage, clips, stuff like that. And YouTube. We didn't forget about you. YouTube Shorts, we actually really like you. Me and Angelina are on the YouTube short wave.
Yes, we are.
Things are getting great, and thank you for sharing today.
Of course.
I look forward to circling back after, like, this is like, I feel like this, yes, and being like, I'll even like flash back and forth to things like that.
I'll cry again.
And shout out Sony for giving us a freaking good camera.
Yes,
thank you. Thank you very much. We love you guys. Have a good Sunday. Mwah.